Welcome back, 5'9 trainers. My name is KalLife, and today we are going to be talking about the new Pokemon Unite tier list for the Pokemon Unite game after Sylveon's release. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, do not forget to go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe at the 5'9 Gaming Plays channel. And if you really enjoy the content, then go ahead and please check out the other content that's also featured on the channel as well. As I just mentioned, we will be talking about a new tier list for Sylveon's post-release, and where I believe that every Pokemon falls in their category. Now, I have a little background when it comes to playing Pokemon Unite, such as being able to go ahead and play from the first initial beta that started on the mobile, which was in Canada, to then to Japanese release beta, which they went ahead and stress test for the Japan servers, and finally, since the big release on the Nintendo Switch, when Pokemon Unite went worldwide and caused the storm. Now, since then, I have been able to go ahead and reach Masters, and I participated in tournaments where I went against fellow other Master players such as A-Drive, Super Teeds, and other players out there. So do keep that in mind, and I hope that you guys enjoy the video. Starting off, we have Venusaur. Venusaur is very strong ever since he received his buffs to his Petal Dance and Giga Drain. Since then, Venusaur is seen to be probably one of the best characters in the game, as nothing can really compete with him. As he's able to go ahead and use his Petal Dance for increased speed, he's also going to be able to use his Giga Drain to go ahead and not only recover his own health and keep him alive for sustain, but also be able to attack with his Vine Whips from his basic attacks. This allows him to be able to go ahead and team wipe a team by himself, or at least stay long enough for a team to fight him for him to get back up. Every team in rank seems to need him on there. So I would go ahead and put him S tier, because I believe nothing can compete with him other than the other S tier Pokemon. Secondly, we now have Gengar. Now Gengar is very strong. I don't think he is as good as when Pokemon Unite originally came out, because ever since his nerf to his Sludge Bomb Hex, he has been slowly seeing decline in play, but he still is able to become viable and help the team in getting Zapdos kills and also kills on enemy Pokemon as a jungler. And I will go ahead and put him in the A tier. Now we do have Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime, I believe, is an amazing Pokemon. However, I think that he struggles with being too technical for certain people to be able to use him. One of his biggest things is people have to be able to go ahead and put up the wall while also pushing people into it with the confusion ability. Not everyone is able to go ahead and time that correctly and get that wall push for that maximum damage that he's able to output. Due to that, they also go ahead and try to use his other moveset, which is Psychic and Mind. And that really hurts him, as he is better off with the barrier and the confusion, in my honest opinion, because he's able to help stall the team and also help do damage at the same time. So I believe that he is in the B tier. He's decent, but he could use some buffs, maybe with the, the auto tracking of the walls. Now we have Snorlax. Snorlax is super strong. I really enjoy using him. I think he's up there as A tier. He's good, but he isn't the best. And the reason is they did go ahead and slightly nerf his Heavy Slam, which caused the stuns from knockup to be shortened, and also his yawn was also decreased as well. So now when you go ahead and use the yawn ability, you are putting them to sleep, but once putting them to sleep, they are able to wake up once they're hit. So it's shorter than it used to be, but he's still strong because he is able to use block attack, and if you combine that with X speed, he can also block the opponents a lot faster or block a Rotom out of the way. He's very useful. He's able to keep the team alive and also able to take all the hits for the team. Now we have Gardevoir. Gardevoir is a very good Pokemon late game. However, she really struggles early game. And due to that, I think that she really needs to be buffed to where she can start off early and get some more damage. As of right now, as of Ralts, she really struggles to try to find her way if she is not the jungler. She needs to be able to gain as much level as possible, and even going bottom lane where more experience is found, it's still hard for her to compete against others like Lucario and Pikachu and Cinderace and Pokemon like that, just because she takes a little time to get ramped up. So I believe she can use some buffs in that attack. That way she can go ahead and get stronger. Now we have Absol. Absol is a really strong Pokemon. However, the problem with Absol is he falls off if he's not able to snowball. And while he's able to go ahead and get his crits with the new items, Razor Claw, it doesn't seem like he's finding more and more play as other junglers. And so because of that, I really believe that he can use some type of buff, as he is decent, but he's still not quite there to be in the A tier, just because he can't compete once he starts getting snowballed. Other than that, I think Absol is very good for setting up ganks. He's also very good at tracking opponents down when he is strong enough, because there's times where you are able to go ahead and 1 to 2 shot other Pokemon. Now we do have Garchomp, and I personally don't think Garchomp is anywhere near any of the other Pokemon, such as he needs a bunch of help. I would put him in the C tier, where he struggles really hard, needs buffs to compete. And the reason I believe that is, I think they need to go ahead and try to rework his Unite move to where you can control it a little better, because it does go a little wild. It is sometimes hard to hit, and he also struggles a lot early game as Gible. When you are a Gible, you have Sand Attack, which doesn't do any damage to the opponents, but it does cause debuffs. However, his other move doesn't quite do enough for him to get the kills, so usually you end up running a Fluffy Tail just to try to get level faster in bot lane. And I know a lot of people would rather run other items such as Eject Button, X Speed, or X Attack. So I really do think Garchomp does need help in his early game. Late game, he does pick it up, but I feel because it takes him so long to get there, he does struggle. And therefore, I think he really needs to be reworked, and they need to figure out how to balance him more. That way he can compete more in tournament play. Now we do have Lucario. Lucario, to me, is one of the best Pokemon in the game, if not the best. I personally think he is the best Pokemon. Lucario, as we now know, if you are playing competitive, Lucario goes usually top lane in, they like to call that the solo lane. And what Lucario is able to do as a solo laner, he can either take on a 1v2 up top, or he'll go ahead and take on a 1v1, while his companions, the 3 others, go bottom lane, and the jungler goes into the central lane for jungling, which causes a 1-1-3 lane. And what this does is allow Lucario to go ahead and get level to where he can get his extreme speed, and then from there be able to get Bone Rush. And the combo is, with extreme speed, you're able to do resets, which can cause you to literally attack a wild Pokemon, use extreme speed, reset, and then be able to go ahead and kill the opposing enemy, which can cause just a team wipe. Not only that, Lucario can also go run around to the enemy base, go score points, then backtrack back to safety with no issues due to the shield that he gets and the score shield item that he runs. Now, I do believe he will eventually get nerfed again, as they did nerf his power up punch, but right now he is still the best Pokemon in the game, and I believe he is going to be there for a while until we see some nerf to him. Now, we do have Crustal. Crustal, I think, is an amazing Pokemon. However, people do not think he is the best, so I will go ahead and also put him in the A tier, as his main goal is, to me personally, scoring and capturing objectives. Crustal is able to use the Stealth Rocks with the Fluffy Tail to go ahead and melt Dreadnought and also capture Rotom or Zapdos. He's also able to go ahead and get less scoring in if he is able to survive by using his Unite move, which goes ahead and gives him a shield, and also combining that with the Buddy Barrier, he gets another shield plus another shield along with the score shield, which makes Crustal the best Pokemon in the game for scoring an enormous amount of points. Now, I do believe he might potentially get a buff in some aspect, maybe in the Scissor or the Rock Tome section, but right now he's very strong with all his movesets, and I think that he's going to be strong for a very long time just due to his abilities. Now, we do have Greninja, and Greninja has, as we did not expect, actually went up into the S tier. Greninja is able to go ahead and now get critical hits based on his clones if you're running the double team with the Water Shuriken, where basically now all his clones are able to attack an enemy at once from 3 different sides. This allows Greninja to not only sustain lifesteal, but also be able to completely annihilate an enemy as if it was nothing. I believe Greninja is very strong, and even with the nerf to his health, he's still able to compete and be up there with the very best of the Pokemon. And now we have Talonflame. Talonflame, in my honest opinion, is an amazing Pokemon. I also think he's one of the best Pokemon in the game, especially when it comes to jungling. Talonflame has the ability to go ahead and completely team wipe, steal objectives, and also stay alive. Depending on if you're running Brave Bird or Fly, there is a split in which people decide they would like Fly better and which like Brave Bird. Fly is easier to steal objectives because you're able to avoid being hit, while Brave Bird is there to steal the objectives a little faster and do a lot of damage, especially if you're jungling with the Fluffy Tail, to where you can potentially just destroy objectives by yourself without any team help. I think Talonflame is an amazing Pokemon. I would like to see them buff the Flame Charge ability just so we can try that out a little bit more, but as of right now, he's very strong, and I barely think anything can compete with them other than right now the Lucario, the Venusaur, and the Greninja that we have as of right now there. Now, we do have Charizard, and Charizard did receive a buff. Charizard is very, very strong. I think he is up there to potentially hit S tier eventually when he does probably get another buff, because as we can see, Pokemon Unite is very, very interested in buffing Charizard. Now, Charizard does a lot of things, such as the Fire Punch with the Flare Blitz for that maximum physical damage, which could also be used to track Pokemon down, use it to get far, and also destroy enemies. Now, Charizard did get a nerf to his Unite move, which kind of hurts him. As of right now, you need to be able to be next to a Pokemon to use his Unite move. This hurts him because before you could just Unite, use it to steal Zapdos, or use it to just fly over the wall. But because you now need a Pokemon to be next to you as an enemy, you cannot do that anymore. So your Unite move is potentially useless against Zapdos unless there is a Pokemon you have just used his Seismic Toss on and was able to go ahead and melt away him to attack the Zapdos. Now, what also hurts Charizard is that while in his Unite form, you are not able to score, which is very, very different from most Pokemon in this game, as most Pokemon are able to score while they're in their Unite move. Moving on to Zeraora. Zeraora is an amazing Pokemon who can go ahead and basically team wipe as long as you have the correct items on him and is jungling with him as the jungler. Zeraora has Discharge, which does a ton of damage for AoE, and also he has Spark, which does a bunch of damage if you combine it with the Muscle Band, which helps him stay alive to recover HP while you are sparking. Not only that, he does also have his Unite move, which tracks an enemy Pokemon and is able to do an enormous amount of damage while also getting off your Discharge and your Spark or Volt Switch. This allows Zeraora to go ahead and compete with the very best Pokemon out there. Now, I do think that he's very strong, but I don't think he's the best out there. And eventually, I think he will start to gain his traction as being one of the best Pokemon in the game, as he does have his slight faults. Now, we do have Cinderace. Cinderace is also very strong, but at the same time, not the very best Pokemon in the game. Cinderace is able to go ahead and get a lot of damage off now with his basic attacks, but also with his Pyro Ball. Not only that, he has 2 good escape moves known as Flame Charge and also Feint. Feint is able to let you dodge such moves as Fly, Water Shuriken, Quick Attack, Extreme Speed, and etc. So that is very good, but also on top of that, Flame Charge is there to do damage and also catch up to a Pokemon. So he does sit among the very best Pokemon, but not at the very top of them. I think he's fantastic. He obviously has lost his speed as he does have the lowest HP pool in the game, but also the nerfs that they did do to his basic attacks previous. Now, we do have Eldegoss. I really enjoy Eldegoss. A lot of people think Eldegoss is not the best Pokemon in the game. However, I truly believe that she's up there with them. She's usually always used in conjunction with Venusaur, and because of that one aspect, she is very strong and deserves to be up there as the #1 healer and support in the game, in my honest opinion. Eldegoss is able to go ahead and not only heal early game, but also later game provide not only a speed increase for the team, but also shield upon their other shields from their Unite moves. Not only that, she has her Unite move that is able to do knockback when slamming to the ground, but also heals her team and her, allowing them to stay alive and push objectives and push team fights without any problem. Eldegoss is super strong. I think she is probably going to get nerfed very soon, because the nerf that they did apply to her was actually a buff, as they did nerf the healing, but they buffed the shields, and be able to have shields in this game is super important, as we can see from the Buddy Barrier item. Now we have Cramorant. Cramorant to me is amazing. I think Cramorant is in the A tier where he's very good, but he's not the best. Cramorant has 2 different builds. One where he's more aggressive with the dive and the air slash move. But also, if you want to go ahead and apply a little crowd control, you can go with the Surf and the Hurricane attack, which is amazing. No matter what you do with Cramorant, he is super good. The only thing about Cramorant is that his health is not very big, so therefore he does get melted by the stronger Pokemon that is able to do a lot of damage, such as the 5 Pokemon up there. So do keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this Pokemon in there. This is the last Pokemon on the list that is going to be in the S tier range. That is right. This is the best Pokemon in the game to some people, and the one that really competes with the Lucario, the Venusaur, and that's pretty much it. That's who they really compete with. And his name is Blastoise. Blastoise is just another Kinetonian Pokemon that is very strong. He is able to provide crowd control with his Surf, or he is able to go ahead and use Slowdown with Water Sprout. But his biggest thing of why he is so good is because he has the ability to use his Hydro Pump for knockback and pushback on opposing Pokemon, but also Rapid Spin to go ahead and spin, give himself a shield, and increase in speed, and also reset cooldowns on both Hydro Pump and Water Sprout. This allows him to go ahead and use Hydro Pump, then Water Sprout, and then use a Rapid Spin, and is able to go ahead and use Hydro Pump once again, or Water Sprout. He's also has one of the best Unite moves in the game, which does a ton of damage and also applies Knock Up, which allows you to go ahead and cancel out either someone else's Unite move if you time it correctly, and cause a team wipe on Pokemon. Also, if you decide that you want to be able to destroy objectives with Blastoise, you can run Fluffy Tail, as the Rapid Spin and Hydro Pump does an absurd amount of damage to Dreadnought, Rotom, and also Zapdos. That is right, he is also an objective killer, which is why I think he is out there with Lucario and Venusaur as the best. I think for objectives, it becomes Blastoise is the best objective player Pokemon, Lucario being the best aggressive Pokemon to get kills, and Venusaur being the best to have sustainability, especially when combined with Eldegoss. Now we do have Pikachu. Pikachu, I believe, is B tier. I personally believe Pikachu does not hit as hard as it used to when it came to his beta version. As he does apply stun, I feel like he still has gotten hit in a different way of attack power. Now, I believe he needs buffs with his attack. That way he can stay alive for late game, because early game he's very strong because he's able to stun. However, when it comes to late game, he just folds. He is literally almost 1 to 2 shotted. The stuns aren't really that helpful as they are in the beginning, because they are able to live more attacks because they're more leveled up and stronger. And if Pikachu does fall under the radar on level, then he is going to really struggle. That's why I personally believe he does need a buff. Now we do have Ninetales. Ninetales is also very good, but Ninetales has fallen down in my opinion, as the issue with Ninetales is, even though she is in the attack role, she does not do a lot of damage, as she's now more mainly built to do crowd control or basic attack damage with the Aura Veil. Now Aura Veil does boost the team, however it's to the point where you're usually using a Aura Veil to just melt an objective or just get a last hit on a Pokemon for a kill. Now her Dazzling Gleam does provide the stun, but the stun is easily negated with a full heal or with the Eldegoss or the Blissey, which makes her fall down just quite a bit. I believe they are going to go ahead and buff her basic attacks, or maybe just buff her Blizzard move, as that would also help her become more of an attacker and less of a support in the attack role. Now we do have Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff is very, very good. I think Wigglytuff is up there as one of the very good Pokemon, so not absolutely the best. And unfortunately, that is because Wigglytuff has lost the defense and HP that it used to have, along with the attack power. Before, Wigglytuff was able to go ahead and put someone to sleep, use Dazzling Gleam, or use the Double Slap and get an instant kill. However, due to attack power loss, that is not the case anymore, so it does hurt her, but she is very good. She's able to go ahead and support the team with the with this crowd control from the Sing, or if you are able to time the rollout, which you can using the terrain, you can also team wipe a Pokemon if they run into it. Because once they run into the rollout and you're between two walls, they are not able to escape until that rollout is done, and by that time you're going to probably end up getting the kill. So I think she's very strong. Just needs a little buff maybe to attack power again, because before that she was, I believe, in the S tier group. Now we have Slowbro, and unfortunately Slowbro has fallen off quite a bit in the usage rate of being in ranked, and that is because he lost a little bit of his stats, I believe, to his HP and defense, but he still is very good. He has his telekinesis, which is able to go ahead and pick up a Pokemon, allowing you to have your teammates be able to attack that Pokemon without them being able to attack back or move. Now this is very, very good. The only thing is it does go away if the opponent does use full heal, so do keep that in mind. He also does have Surf, however his Surf attack doesn't do a lot of damage, but it is able to go ahead and capture objectives, which is nice, as it does go through walls, which is actually different from Blastoise. Blastoise Surf does not go through walls, however Slowbro's does, so it lets you be able to go ahead and capture the Zapdos as a last hit if you're walking up and you just need to get that one last hit in before the other team can capture Zap, or before they can even try to steal it. So that's another thing. They also did go ahead and buff his Amnesia, however the Amnesia ability I think is not as good as the Telekinesis, because Telekinesis is there for the crowd control, and you would rather be able to support your team than try to become a full out attacker with Slowbro with using the Amnesia and the Scald abilities. Now we have Machamp. Machamp is also very good, but I believe he needs buffs. I think he's very strong. He is able to survive. However, it takes him a little bit to go ahead and get alive, as he needs to evolve from a Machoke to the Machamp. And even as a Machamp, he does struggle a little bit. Now, I think his submission is very good along with his cross chop, as it does set up a nice play for easy kills, but the close combat is also very good as well. He also does have one of the strongest Unite moves in the game, which is able to help him get kills or either capture a Pokemon, as you're able to push people back with his Unite move. We have Blissey. Blissey is also very good. I agree. However, I think Blissey still falls behind Eldegoss in the support role of being able to keep the team alive, as Blissey's Unite move is not as good as Eldegoss, in my honest opinion, because you need to be able to use her Unite move by being next to a teammate. However, with Eldegoss, you are able to just use it automatically to either steal Zapdos or keep Pokemon alive. Now, Blissey does have the helping hand, which helps the team be able to get a lot of damage off in a little succession, and also has soft boiled, which is able to heal the Pokemon, but also has the damaging move if you decide you want to do a little damage by using Egg Bomb, which I would not really do if I'm going to be a supporter, honest opinion. Now we do move on to Mamoswine, and man, I love this Pokemon. I think he's absolutely fantastic. Mamoswine is so good at crowd control, is able to go ahead and do just a little damage to where you're able to go ahead and slam, pop them up, use the move to go ahead and pick them up and throw them behind, or you can use his other move where he does throw out an iceberg that drops for CC. Whichever way you decide to go with Mamoswine, it is going to completely help your team. Now, the only reason he is not in the S tier is, once again, he does take a little while to get started, but even in early games, he is able to do a lot of damage just because he's able to go ahead and throw down the slows, which allows your team and you to go ahead and control the lane if placed correctly. Now we have the Pokemon that made me have to really think of where to put her. This Pokemon was absolutely fantastic when she first came out a few days ago, and in 4 days was completely nerfed. And the reason that she was nerfed was because she was doing so much damage to where everyone was averaging 18 to 20 kills a game with no issues. So what did they have to do? Pokemon Unite decided to go ahead and nerf her by nerfing not only Hyper Voice, but also Mystical Fire. And you would think that nerf would really hurt her. Unfortunately, that was not the case for people that did not like Sylveon. Sylveon is very strong, especially now when you go ahead and throw on a bunch of defensive items and use the Calm Mind version with the Hyper Voice. She is allowed to now stay alive, attack from distance, but also attack multiple Pokemon at the same time. And for that reason, she is now in the very good, but not the best. Previous to this, she was one of the best Pokemon in the game, if not the best. So anyway, guys, if you guys did enjoy the tier list, please let us know in the comment section below. Let us know on 5'9" Gaming channel, because we would love to hear what you guys have to say if you agree with my opinion. Once again, my name is KalLife, and I appreciate everyone for watching this video. Have a wonderful day.